Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a simple but beautiful sunset eye. And I'm going to be doing it with the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset Palette. Now, of course it's called the Sunset Palette, but by looking at it, you wouldn't think you can get like a real sunset type look. I mean, it comes with like a yellow orange, a brown, a red shimmer, a gold shimmer, and like a champagne-y colored shimmer. But I have gotten the most beautiful sunset eye with this palette that I've ever seen. My eyes are already primed, and I have set them with my Wet n Wild single eyeshadow in the shade Creme Brulee. This is my favorite for setting my eyeshadow. I mean, to set my primer on my eyes, because it's $1 and it works great every time. So anyway, you get into the palette. I'm going to start off with the first shade, the yellow orange shade. Sorry, I had to make sure my brush was clean. So I'm going to start off with the first shade right there in my crease and a little bit higher than my crease. Now, at first, I did not like this palette. I was very underwhelmed and a little upset because of how highly everyone talks about Natasha Denona palettes. And they act like they are the greatest thing in the world. And at first, it really wasn't. Like, I hated it. I was very upset, and I was actually mad I wanted my money back. But apparently there's some kind of coating, I'm assuming. Now, this isn't proved. But I'm assuming there's some kind of coating on the shadows themselves when you first get them, because there's like no pigmentation. I had a hard time getting it to show up on my skin. And after about 3 or 4 uses, I think it was, the color just like started showing up. Because I was like, trying to figure out why it wasn't working. I thought maybe it was something I was doing it. I tried it on an unset, primed eye and everything, and it didn't matter. So, at the 3rd or 4th time, I don't remember how many, like I said, it showed up beautifully, and I was like, wow, like it reminded me of the e.l.f. baked bronzers, the e.l.f. baked highlighters, how there was a coating on them that you have to get through first. You kind of like scrape it off. Well, I just, tried doing my makeup with it a few times, and that's how I got it off. But yeah, that's what it was, something like that. So I'm assuming. Anyway, so now they're beautiful, they work great, and this has became my favorite eyeshadow palette right now. So now I'm going to go into the darker brown right here, and I'm not going to use it very dark. Like, I don't want it to be at its darkest potential. I just want it to define the crease. And I'm sorry to hear my kids downstairs. They're home from school. They have off because of Easter and spring vacation or whatever. So, spring break, I guess. So this is like the quickest, easiest sunset eye I've ever done, is with this little palette. And I'm bringing the darker brown all the way in too. So, just so you know. I know you see me, but I'm going to tap it right here on the very outer V of the eye. In case you're wondering, this is the Morphe M573 brush that I'm using. Alright, so that's it for the matte eyeshadows. I'm going to start out with the red eyeshadow here. I'm going to put that in the outer portion of my eye towards the middle. And I'm just going to use my finger for it. So I'm going to bring it almost halfway, I'll say. And I'm bringing it from the very outer edge where the dark brown is. I'm bringing it all the way up to the crease. And all the way down to the lash line. I'm using my finger, so it may not be exact, but you get the point. There we go. Same thing over here. You may hear my cat snoring. She snores behind me most of the time when I'm filming. I know I say it a lot, but you might hear noises, and I was figuring I might as well tell you. So there's the red. Now I'm going to go into this copper shade right here. It's like a golden copper. And I'm just going to attach that to the red right here and bring it almost all the way in on my eye. And just blend them together with my finger. It's such a pretty color. It's one of my favorites so far out of these colors. And again, I'm bringing it all the way up to my crease. And then I'm going to use my pinky finger in this shade up here, the champagne-y type shade. I'm going to put that in my inner corner of my eyelid and drag it out into the copper. I don't know why I tried to do that, to use my other finger. There we go. So now I'm just going to take my blending brush I used the whole time and just make sure my crease is blended. In case I got some other shadows in my crease. And now for my lower lash line, I'm just going to take that dark brown here. Let me get a little mirror. I'm going to use the deep brown all the way across my lower lash line. And then I'm going to blend it out with the yellow-orange color. You don't have to be perfectly neat with it. I'm not. Like I said, this is just a quick sunset eye that I do. That I have been doing the past week, basically. I mean, it's very, very fast look. And it looks like you really spent time on it when you really didn't. There we go. And then I'm going to take a little tiny blending brush with that orange yellow. I'm just going to smoke that out a little bit. Not even really smoke it out, but just blend it. I don't know why I say that sometimes. I think it's just force the habit of hearing myself say it and continuing to say it. And I'm bringing it from outer to inner corner. So it looks kind of crazy without any other face makeup on and without, you know, my mascara and my eyeliner. But I'm going to get a little closer for you. We'll zoom you guys in a little closer. So there you go. You're zoomed in a little bit closer and you can see that the colors really do blend together. Like, you may have to take your finger across there or brush across just to make sure at the end. But, I mean, it's a really pretty sunset eye, and it was very fast. It didn't take me long at all to do. I mean, I've been filming for 9 minutes right now. So, you can see, like, it really took me, like, no time to do. Now, with it, I would use, like, a deeper brown eyeliner. Alright, for eyeliner, I'm going to use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Whiskey. Not my favorite one, but I'm trying to use it up because I did buy it, so now I'm stuck with it. I thought it would be darker than it is, and it's just really not. So, I like using a dark brown eyeliner. This is like a medium brown, and with my skin tone, once my face is all done, this like blends in, like you don't really see it. But it adds a tiny bit of color for now. So that's what I'll use. There you go. So now, like I said, if you look, it doesn't even look like I put eyeliner on. I don't know why I do it. You can add a black eyeliner if you want, or you can get fancy with it and use like the red shimmer in the palette. Put that in your waterline a little bit. It doesn't hurt. This is a really good palette. It's one of my favorite things to do is to use the colors in the palette for eyeliner. For mascara, I will use the NARS Climax mascara. It's my favorite mascara right now. I use it in a sample size, like I said before. I can hear my kids playing downstairs with the dog. Geez, they're shaking the house. For my lower lashes, I will use the Lash Discovery by Maybelline because it has a tiny little wand on it, and it's so much easier for lower lashes. You can see the wand. There it is. So, makes that job so much easier. I poke myself in the eye 10 times less. Because how tiny the wand is, I can really get in there and separate my lashes. And I will also use this on my upper lashes sometimes if I need to separate clumps. I'm just making a mess of my eye today. And that would be it for the Sunset Eye. I'm not going to be putting on face makeup today because I'm letting my skin breathe. As you can see, it's healing up very well, and I don't feel like I need to cover a lot. I think maybe a lip right now would be nice. I'll use my Wet n Wild Liquid Cat Suit in the shade Cedar Later. There you go. And that would be my completed Sunset Eye. I know I've done one of these before, but not with this palette, and it's one of my newer items that I got, so I wanted to try it out with you guys and see what you guys think of it. So let me know in the comments what your opinion is on this palette, if you think you can do this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.